Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it. Promise?
There's no nationwide policy on sexual education in our schools, so this really leaves it up for the states to decide. Among these states, we get some pretty outrageous policies. Among a handful of states, sexual education is not even a required lesson to be taught to children. Among some of these states that do require sexual education to be taught, only 13 of them require it to be accurate information.
Among schools that actually do teach sexual education, typically abstinence is stressed, which, as we know, this teaching style doesn't really work very well.
So we know that sex education in America is flawed, but let's take a look at just how bad it really is. Let's take Texas and Alabama, for example. Neither state requires sex education, but when they do teach it, it doesn't have to be medically accurate. In addition, they must stress abstinence, but not contraception. Both must include only negative information on same-sex relationships, and neither requires information on HIV.
Here's the real kicker.
Guess which two states are among those with the most teen pregnancies in America? You guessed it, Texas and Alabama. The others are almost all southern states. Religious and political values are obviously getting in the way of providing teens with proper education. This is a perfect example of why sex ed desperately needs reform. In order to ensure that our students are getting the correct information, we need to make sure that the educators are educated themselves and teaching the students accurate information. That's right, accurate.
Accurate?
Accurate.
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 That's right, we need accurate information to be able to eliminate bias in our sex education, as well as make everything equal.
We need to make sure that every state has the same policy when it comes to sex education, so that every state is getting the same education with the same information. In most places, parents are allowed to opt their children out of taking sex education. All students should be required to take the same sex education as to prevent unwanted situations in the future. There are about 10 million new cases of STDs in people age 15 to 24 every year. Look, people are going to do what people do, if you know what I mean. That's why everyone needs to be taught safe sex education and not just abstinence.
So let's talk money. There would obviously need to be changes in schools. Textbooks and videos would need to be up to date and consistent through the states. And teachers would all need to be educated the same way and have the same information. This may cost a bit of money, but with support, it can be easily obtainable.
We realize that not everyone will be in support of this policy, but we're hoping that once it is implemented, people will realize just how much it has been needed.
This is America.